Perfect. Okay, thank you, Michelle, for being here. We are all really excited. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. So I'll pass it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Berlin and Julia, for inviting me to this. I want to call it a webinar, but I guess I could just call it a a class. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here today, and thank you so much, Pauline, for introducing me to this group. I'm really excited. Pauline's been working with me for a little over, I think, 2 years now. She's been helping me tremendously with my agency as well as with my content marketing, where we've been able to grow a YouTube channel to almost 3,000 subscribers, which is really great, and getting a lot of great inbound leads coming from that. So definitely excited to be here to talk about Google Ads and share all the knowledge that I have around paid search. I'm going to keep it very high level. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of like all the fine details, but I just want to explain how it works and the great advantages of using paid search and my background with paid search. So let's go ahead and dive in. And as I go through this, please feel free to drop in the chat as you have questions that pop up in your mind. We will have a Q&A session at the very end. So if you prefer to save your questions to the end, feel free to do that. And let's go ahead and dive in. Let me share my screen. If I could get a thumbs up from you guys when you can see my screen, that'd be great. And I will make this presentation start. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. And let's get started with, honestly, it's been so long since I used PowerPoint. Usually use Canva. Let me switch it. Display settings, swap. All right, let me know. Can you guys see the main screen? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Not the presenter screen. Okay, awesome. So yeah, today I'm going to take you guys through the world of paid search. And before then, just really wanted to introduce myself. I am from Southern California as well. I went to Cal State Fullerton, so grew up here in the Orange County area, then started an internship actually somewhere. Pauline actually interned and worked there at the same, not at the same time, but around similar time. I started a little bit earlier.
Mm.
GMR Web Team, a digital marketing agency, and that's where I really learned as much as I could about digital marketing. I did SEO, pay-per-click advertising, which is what we're going to be talking about today, social media marketing, email marketing. And at this agency, we work with a lot of small businesses, lots of local businesses. And my focus was to generate leads. So at that time, it was heavily focused on SEO and social. And then one day, my boss had asked me if I was interested in learning pay-per-click or paid search, Google Ads. And at that time, I didn't really know much. He sent me home with a book and told me to read it over the weekend. And I came back and just hit the ground running, learning pay-per-click advertising, running accounts for small businesses, with generating leads for like landscapers. And I think I'm trying to remember. It was like landscapers, some doctors, dentists, and so forth, trying to get their phone to ring and get as many form submissions from their website and landing pages as possible. And once I got the hang of it and started seeing the results that we're generating, I really could see that I was making an impact on small businesses and really enjoyed what I was doing. So that's when I decided to focus on paid search and Google Ads. As my niche and decided that I wanted to go and work for a bigger agency. So I went on to work for Saatchi and Saatchi, which is the agency of record for Toyota. Worked there for many years, and we managed the different sales events for, and as well as vehicle launches. I did parts and services, managed all the paid search advertising. It was a multi-million-dollar ad spend across different lines of businesses, and was there for about a few years and then moved on to focus more on lead generation. So at Toyota, we're focused more on awareness-based campaigns with paid search, and then worked at Neo and Mindshare and worked on more lead gen accounts like Sage accounting software, more B2B, as well as trying to remember because it's been a while. Nature made the Custom Border Patrol with recruiting. So really the focus was trying to generate as many leads as possible for these campaigns through the different lines of businesses and using both Google and Bing through capturing search intent, sending traffic to a website or landing page to convert those users to become quality leads. Then at the start of the pandemic, I decided that I was going to go out on my own and started my own company. I did a little freelancing at these agencies, not with these agencies, but on the side of working full time, and decided to go full time into freelancing and then launch my own company, Level 28 Media. And right now, mainly focusing on running Meta ads, Google ads, and being Microsoft ads for my clients with lead generation. So a lot of my clients, they are local based businesses, service based businesses. So think like doctors, lawyers. I've got a bunch of lawyers on my roster, along with different locksmiths. So definitely excited to be here today to share with you exactly how the world of paid search works. Let's go ahead and take you through search engine marketing. What is it? What is it all encompassing? Search engine marketing really is, we can break it up into two different areas. So one is SEO, which is ranking organically. So this is being able to rank without having to put any ad spend behind being able to appear on the Google results page. And SEM, which is what I'm talking about today, search engine marketing or PPC, falls under SCM as well, and that is the ability to pay to be able to show up on the search engine results page. So think of SEO like, you're waiting at the back of the line at Disneyland, and it's going to take a while to get up to the top, or even to show up to the front. But with pay-per-click advertising, you're paying to appear at the top. So you get the prime real estate in order to get the traffic to your website. So the thing with pay-per-click is you have to pay a fee for every click. And we'll talk a little bit more about how the fees work and budgeting and so forth. But just want to explain the difference between SEO and pay-per-click. We're only going to be focusing on pay-per-click advertising, not SEO today. So with pay-per-click advertising, you're paying for every click and you will buy the ads. I mainly work with Google ads and Microsoft ads. I do work with Meta ads, but that is not necessarily paid by the click. So in this presentation, we're mainly going to be focused on Google ads. So Google ads provides many ways to be seen. There's YouTube. You can buy YouTube ads within Google ads. There's display, there's search, there's the discovery network within Google ads, there's the Gmail ads. So if you have a Gmail account, you've probably seen the promotions tab with the ads that appear at the top. So you can get placements within the Gmail app, or Gmail itself, as well as Google Maps. So you can buy ad placements within all these different places. In today's presentation, I'm only going to be focused on Google search. We definitely don't have time to go through every single one of these, but we're going to be focused on Google search and how Google search actually works. I found Google search to be one of the most powerful ways to capture quality leads for clients, because as people are searching, they have strong intent. Whenever they need something, they're going to Google and they have this intent behind what they're looking for. So when someone's looking for a specific product or service and you have that solution to that person's that user's product need, then you will be able to capture that interest and drive that traffic over to a landing page or website to then convert the traffic into a qualified lead. So with what I'm doing here with Google Ads and Microsoft Ads, we're paying for every click. Every second, there's about 100,000 searches that actually occur on the Google search every second. So that's like 8.5 billion searches per day that's actually happening. And Google and Bing want to capitalize on that. So when someone's actually searching for a specific product or service, to be able to have your ads show up in the exact time that someone needs a service is a great, very appealing way to show up for someone to actually give a solution to someone in need. So as someone is searching, they see the ad, they'll click on it, and then the user and then the advertiser that's paying, they will pay for every click to Google, and that depends the price for every click is going to depend on the auction that takes place in the competitive nature of the specific industry. So I work in industries. I mentioned legal. I'm probably just going to be using legal as an example here throughout this presentation. Within legal, there's a lot of competitors. I worked in personal injury. Pauline can attest to this too, as we're managing personal injury accounts. We're seeing clicks that are like $1,000, $800, and it's scary because we have, $30,000 a month to spend, which is a lot of budget. But in the grand scheme of things, when every click is $800 to $1,000, the budget is draining really, really fast. So it's a high budget but low volume of leads, just because of how competitive it is. So in specific industries, I mean, here in the Los Angeles area, I've seen clicks as high as $1,500 a click. That's really, really scary. When if you don't know what you're doing, you can drain budget really, really fast. And I don't mean to say this to scare anyone here. It's just the reality with pay-per-click. I've got some people reaching out saying that their pay-per-click ads are really expensive, and they're in industries where their ads are probably their clicks are like $10 to $15. And I tell them, hey, that's nothing compared to, what Pauline and I have seen. Um, on average these days, and depending on the industry, clicks are in moderately competitive industries anywhere from like $10 to $50, but it really just depends on how many competitors are in the industry, because the more and in the geographic area, because the more competitors, the higher the cost is going to be, because everyone's going in there and trying to bid as high as they can to win the auction, and try to capitalize and get that prime real estate on Google to get at the top. And they're willing to pay these prices. And as you can imagine, with personal injury, when someone's searching, that can be a multi-million-dollar settlement. So lawyers are okay with spending that. But the challenge with personal injury itself is when someone's typing personal injury lawyer, we don't know if this is like a wrongful death car accident case that's worth multi-million dollars worth of settlement, or if it's someone that slipped and fell on a little plastic at the Walmart down the street that thinks that they have a claim, but they really don't. That's really where the challenge is, because we can get the intent of the user, but the true intent and the vetting comes from actually the work that the sales team has to do to qualify the user even more. So Google Ads and Microsoft Ads as channels to capture leads are good to just capture the interest, but in order to qualify users even more, there has to be a stronger funnel set up in order to weed out the people that are not, good quality, based off of the people that are coming through. So let's keep going. Search engine results page, or the SERP. I'm sure you guys have seen this, and I'm sure everyone here has done at least a few Google searches today. This is what you see. And I'm sure that a lot of people, they don't realize like what this thing is called, but after you trigger a search in Google by typing into the search bar, you will get a page here called the search engine results page, or SERP. What you see here at the top is the ad where it will say sponsored, and then below it is the organic ranking. So here I just typed in Toyota, you'll see the sponsored ad, and then below it will be the organic ranking. naturally, a lot of small business advertisers, when they come to me, they'll ask me, why is it important to bid or even pay for my own brand name? Like, is it even necessary? Because I'm already showing up organically. Why do I need to pay to be here? And the answer to that is, well, Honda can easily bid on Toyota. Hyundai can easily bid on Toyota and try to appear at the very top. This is called conquesting. And it is going to cost Honda and Hyundai like more money because they're bidding on another brand, but it's a good way to get consideration for someone that's considering a Toyota. So I recommend brands bid on their own name because it just allows you to protect your brand name from conquesting. And typically it's not as expensive compared to bidding on other non-brand terms like sedan or minivan or truck. So I always recommend that. And then I'm sure, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, not back in the day, but maybe like 5, 6 years ago, ads used to be up at the top, and as well as on the sidebar. So there used to be ads that appeared right here, but then Google got rid of that, and now it's just this is called the knowledge graph. And a lot of this is pulled from, let's say, Wikipedia and other sources, to give users a quick snippet of, what this brand or the search is all about. So Google's goal is to ultimately provide the user an experience where they can get the answers as quickly as possible without having to go to the second or third page of Google. In fact, there's a joke within this industry that the best place to hide a dead body is on the second page of Google because no one actually goes there. So you want to always try to appear on the first page, but do you have the budget to actually appear there? That's the big question. So here, Google actually used to like highlight the ads too. I don't know if anyone remembers the ads used to be highlighted in yellow or pink, but now they've done a lot of testing and Google wants people to click on the ads because that's how they make ad revenue. So they made it a little bit they made it blend in natively to the search engine results page, so it doesn't obviously look like an ad. It has to legally say sponsored, but it doesn't necessarily need to like have the color coding. I just highlighted it so you could see this is what the pay-per-click ad is. So Google has to pay, or Toyota has to pay every time someone clicks on this ad. But anytime someone clicks on this listing, the for SEO, Toyota doesn't have to pay. So ideally, Toyota would want you to click on this, but most people tend to click on the top. And in this example, there's only one ad, but usually there's up to 3 ads. And in some local searches, there will also be a map that will appear below it as well. So that's also something to know as well. So let me know if you have any questions. I saw some comments in the chat, so I don't know if people started asking questions. Oh yeah, Kelly. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't even realize people were asking questions. So I need to make sure that I'm looking over here. Oh, Kelly, $17 per click in the landscaping marketing industry. I have not seen clicks that cheap. So, Kelly, you're definitely getting a steal right now. But then again, that's so niche. I wonder how many searches you get and how many clicks you get per month. But even then, for $17 a click, that's like those types of prices are prices you would see like back when Google Ads or Google AdWords was launched. But landscaping marketing industry, that's pretty amazing. Very niche. And are you getting clients from that? Just curious. And how long have you been doing it for?
So it's actually 17 cents per click. And I just started. So I just started day 9. I'm doing a 30-day campaign.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I've
great.
gotten it's not converting that well, but I've gotten like 4 signups for emails out of it. So I'm working on it. I'm changing and tweaking and testing. So
Are you sure that you are running on Google search or is it also serving on the display network?
It should just be on Google search.
Okay.
Yeah, it's search.
Just as a FYI, Google has some tricky things about their platform, where they will automatically opt you into things like Google Display Network. And Google Display Network, we usually see clicks that cheap, like 17 cents there. But if you're getting clicks for 17 cents on Google search, that's amazing. That's unheard of. So definitely check your settings and make sure that that's not display. That would definitely be something that I want you to take a look at just in case. But no
Perfect.
matter what, 17 cents, that's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Um, yeah. Let's take a look here then at a couple things. So how does this actually work? So someone will go to Google. Let's just say I'm using this example here, dentist near LA. Dentist near Los Angeles. I do this search and then I click the search button here. Then an auction takes place behind the scenes. We don't get to see it. It's not your typical auction where people are, raising their hand in order to bid, to say that they want to bid a certain amount. These are secret auctions that are taking place behind the scenes. You as an advertiser will set the highest amount you're willing to pay for every click, if depending on what bid strategy you're using. If you're using manual bidding, you would do that. If you're using maximize clicks, it'd be a little bit different. But you're basically telling Google, this is how I want you to spend my budget. This is the bid strategy that I want you to use. You can select from you can say, Google, I want you to maximize my conversions. Google, I want you to maximize my conversions while also keeping in mind a target cost per acquisition goal. I want you to maximize my clicks. Or also, I want you to not do anything. I want to have full control over everything and I want to manually do it. So that would be manual cost per click or manual CPC. Basically, what happens is as an advertiser, you will pick your set of keywords that you want to appear for, and you would put them into Google. You would do all the settings in there. And then you would tell Google, this is the most I'm willing to pay, depending on what your bid strategy is. And then Google will then go and try to use the bid strategy that you want in order to meet your specific goals. So if you're putting a limit on Google saying, hey, Google, don't spend more than $20 a click, it's not going to spend more than $20 a click to a certain extent. Sometimes it might go a little bit higher or lower, but it will tend to stay in that range. So let's just say that Dr. Felipe here put a cap on Google saying, I don't want you to pay more than, I'm pretty sure that in this industry, from where I'm searching from, it's probably going to be up to like $30 to $50 a click. You have to think about it with a dentist, customer lifetime value can be pretty high. And with the referrals that they could be getting, customer lifetime value is worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. Also, assuming that the dentist does good work, then PPC is a no-brainer, assuming that they do good work and, with the repeat business and referrals they could get, then definitely ROI can be there. But what happens is Dr. Felipe and then Dream Team Dental and the practice BH Beverly Hills, they're all bidding. There's definitely more advertisers behind the scenes that are trying to bid for these top spots, but they don't always appear. They don't always win the auction to actually appear in and rank at the top, depending on how good their ads are, the quality of their keywords, the quality of their landing page. So just because you're willing to spend $50 or $100 a click, you can't just say, I want to spend the most so that I can appear at the top. It doesn't necessarily work that way. Google looks into quality of your ads. So a dentist near Los Angeles, California, I'm just giving an example, if a orthodontist wanted to bid on this keyword, they're not going to be as relevant as a dentist. So they may actually have to bid even higher because of the relevancy that's necessary to even appear here. Or let's say, it'd be random, but I'm just saying here, let's say another type of specialist within, an implant specialist that wanted to appear for this type of phrase. It's going to cost them a little bit more because they are not trying to, because they're an implant specialist. So I just want everyone here to know that given the examples here, the relevancy is really important, meaning that the user search has to match with what you're saying in the ads in order to be able to rank as high as possible. And also your landing page or website has to be relevant. So we can't have, let's say, Dr. Felipe going to a website that has Dr. Felipe's wife, that's also, a dentist. So that's the other thing is we need to make sure that the user experience is seamless. So when they see Dr. Felipe, they shouldn't be seeing any other doctor besides Dr. Felipe on the, website or landing page. And if it's saying Los Angeles, California, but then it's saying near Whittier, LA and Whittier they're very far apart. So that's not going to be as relevant if I'm looking for a dentist in Los Angeles, but it's showing me dentist in Whittier. So that's definitely something to think about, as I know Kelly's running ads and Berlin here was running ads for some clients, but the users, the keywords or search terms that users type in need to match with what is in the actual ads in order to improve the relevancy and garner a higher click-through rate. And the click-through rate's going to help you get more people, in and on your landing pages or website to convert. So the user searches and silent auction takes place, then Google will look at all these varying factors like ad relevancy, as well as landing page experience, expected click-through rate, and so forth, to then rank the different ads on the Google search results page and try to get users to click on these ads. So how does this all work on the back end? And I'm going to take you guys through my actual process of how I go about setting the campaigns up. First, it all starts with keyword research. So in the case of, let's say, a personal injury lawyer, we want to use the Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool. You don't need to pay for any other paid tools out there. There's a free tool built within Google Ads and within it, you're able to search the cities that you want to target or the counties, as well as give it some ideas of some keywords that you want to go after. Personal injury lawyer, personal injury, car accident lawyer, semi-truck accident lawyer. And you just enter that into Google, and then Google will then come back to you with a bunch of different searches that are related to that you might not have thought of. And you can filter through that based off of the keyword searches that are coming through, and the keyword research that you've come back with, and actually ChatGPT is also a really great resource for this too. Then you can ultimately use this to refine your keyword list and build out the keywords that you want to, go after based off of the cost per click. So if you're seeing, like, let's say Los Angeles personal injury lawyer is $1,000 per click, but you only have $1,000 of budget per month, it's probably not a good idea to go after that keyword because you're only going to get one click and you're going to be done. So definitely consider what's your actual budget and what you can actually afford, and you can get all that information within the Google Keyword Planner. Next step would be the ad creation. Ad creation would be writing the actual ads that would appear for the user. So after I'm done doing the keyword research, I'm going to segment my keywords based off of the type of searches. So let's say I'm a personal injury lawyer and I want to go after different practice types like slip and fall injuries, car accidents, motorcycle accidents, and semi-truck accidents. I would have separate ads for every one of those different areas that or subcategories that I practice in, because if someone's looking for a car accident lawyer, but they're seeing motorcycle accident, it's not going to be as relevant to them. So we definitely want to make sure, again, our ads align with what the user is searching for. And again, ChatGPT is a really, really great resource to help with writing ad copy beyond just, the keyword research. You can even prompt ChatGPT with things like, put yourself in the shoes of someone that is seeking a personal injury attorney after they've suffered a motorcycle accident and they need, assistance. And let me know what are best potential headlights I can use to agitate pain and get users to click on my pay-per-click ads. And ChatGPT will do a really good job in being able to deliver. And so far with what I'm doing, in this industry with Google Ads, ChatGPT and AI has been phenomenal with helping with ad copy. I haven't found it to be that great when it comes to helping me build campaigns per se, but when it comes to ad copy and landing page copy and content, that's a really, really, really great place to go in order to get ideas to stand out within the search engine results page. Because as you can imagine, as people are searching, they're getting a lot of different, ads that kind of all look the same, right? They're not necessarily, they're all saying like best dentist near you or top local dentist. We need to have something that's going to stand out, whether it's a pun or something that's really unique about you, unique value proposition. So definitely, consider that if you are looking to write ad copy, whether it's ad copy for Google Ads or ad copy for Meta or anything that you're doing, ChatGPT is a great resource. Then after that, I'll focus on landing page development. So I'll actually build out dedicated landing pages where I send my traffic to. So after someone clicks on the ad, like what we have in this example, they'll go to a landing page that will prompt the user to either submit a form or call the office so that we can, set them up for a consultation. And I actually have an example here. I want to show you a high converting landing page for a dog trainer that I work with out in Phoenix. So ChatGPT actually helped me come up with a headline here. Are you tired of bad dog behavior? What is triggering people to want to hire a dog trainer? So ChatGPT helped me come up with that. And then based off of that, then I built the landing page around it using a lot of best practices. So usually what I like to do is have the logo at the top left. This is for branding, have the top right with the phone number. And you want to make sure that the buttons contrast so people know what the call to actions are. So here the call to action is to call or submit a form. We say get a free consultation today. We mention it again. We say what the offer is, a lifetime guarantee, as well as the services that they actually offer. And then we have users fill out the form. Something that we saw when we were testing out this landing page is a lot of people, as they're on their mobile device and they're searching and they're converting, they're accidentally typing in the wrong phone number. So we have the user double check again before they actually submit it to confirm that all the information is correct, because these leads are costing the client, a decent amount of money. And if the user accidentally, types in the wrong email or phone number, then they just spent money on a lead that isn't worth much or anything to them because they can't get a hold of them. So that's pretty much it in terms of what, I like to look for, like on a landing page at the top. And then as we scroll down, like to see things like, what's your unique value proposition? Why choose the specific dog trainer, or why choose you for your services? Testimonials are really big because with Google Ads, they don't know your business yet. So as people don't know about you, we need to work really fast to build that trust. And in fact, that's one thing I have here is number one dog trainers in Arizona with 5 stars on Yelp and Google. Maybe even putting like 5 stars to really like pop out in front of the user. That's probably one thing I'd like to test. And making sure that we can build the trust as quickly as possible. I typically don't love to use stock images, but with the advancements of AI, like a lot of pictures these days that can be built on specific platforms in AI, they do tend to look not Mid-Journey, but there's some that AI platforms that can make pictures that look so real that it's kind of scary that how real it can be. But what I'm trying to get at is stock photos are okay to a certain extent, but I don't love them because you and another competitor could just be buying the same stock photos, and every other competitor in your industry is just going to be using the same thing. So that's what I wanted to get at. Let's see. Someone just posted here. Nowadays, Google's not allowing to add a keyword like implant specialist, error message try changing or removing these keywords. What type of implant specialist are we talking? Okay, let's see. Implant specialist. What can be done when the service is required? Are you doing this for a dentist office? And is this something that you've raised a ticket for with Google support? Is it limiting your ads from appearing? If you're sure that your keywords comply with our policies, request. So I would recommend you to request a review with live Google support and have them take a look to confirm. Because I think Google is just getting really strict when it comes to healthcare. I don't run a lot of healthcare related campaigns, but let's see. Yeah, I've seen Google, yeah, limit ads, yeah. So yeah, definitely. If you've raised a ticket, have Google, like a live person, review it, because I know Google erroneously flags certain things for the wrong policy violation. So definitely raise a ticket and see. Try to get on a chat with Google. And I know Google support these days has been just completely atrocious. But if you can get on a chat and see if they can escalate it to a live human to review, that's going to be your best bet instead of having Google's machine, go through and review it. So that's what I would recommend you do. So we're on step 4 here with account setup. So we go into the account based off of the keywords that we want to work on, as well as the ads. Actually set up the account, tracking, installing and testing. So conversion tracking is super important within Google Ads. We can see what keywords triggered what conversion, what type of demographic, whether someone fell in, a certain age range or income demographic. And we can optimize based off of that. But it's really important to have conversion tracking in place in order to make sure, and it is somewhat technical. So if you are struggling or you're running ads and you don't have any conversion tracking in place, I'd recommend you stop running your ads. Make sure you have the conversion tracking in place. Work with a developer or someone that has a little bit of coding knowledge in order to help you with placing the pixel in order to fire the conversions so that the data is getting passed into Google Ads so that you have richer data in order to optimize off of. And then step 6 would be the campaign launch. We'd launch the campaign, then we'd monitor the performance, and then campaign assessment, analysis, and feedback. So this is probably what we'd focus on in month 1, and then month 2, and then month 3 afterwards. Most small business advertisers fail because they didn't give Google enough time to actually work. I wish that I could say that we could launch a campaign and within a week we'd be able to generate tons of ROI. But that's the reality of it, is we just have to accept that the first time we're doing something, we're launching something, and we don't really necessarily know what we're doing. We're entering a new industry and we're doing Google Ads, we're not going to be very good at it. So I might know Google Ads really well from a perspective of being able to launch campaigns, but just because I'm good at running, setting up Google campaigns doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to knock it out of the park for every single client or and in every single industry. You're going to have to take your industry knowledge and apply it to, what you learn about Google Ads in order to get, the best results. So I ideally like to see 90 days. Clients give it a full 90 days, assuming that you have your keywords set up properly, your ads, everything, your landing page is proper. Assuming that you've given it a full 90 days and it's not giving you ROI, and assuming everything else is set up properly, then you might want to assess and be like, okay, well, maybe it's not the best place, because the reality is Google Ads is not the best fit for every small business client. It just might not make sense, depending on, the math that, that it's coming back with in terms of generating a return on investment. But making sure that you have all these things dialed in, steps 1 through 5, all dialed in properly, and then giving it a full 90 days to really, prove itself. That's going to be really critical, because I've seen some clients want to stop after 2 weeks. So I always set expectations. Hey, it's going to take 90 days. Are you okay with it? If you're not okay, it's not a good fit. Because I really don't want someone to not give it the full cycle that's needed in order to truly convert. So let's see. Berlin mentioned health can be tricky. Make sure there's no claims in the copy. Like, yeah, definitely. Google's very, very strict about the healthcare industry. So if you're running into issues like that, definitely reach out to the Google support and see, how they can help you. And yeah, definitely don't make erroneous or, fault claims in your ad copy that could be that make false promises. I know that Google's really strict on like weight loss too. So if you're in those industries, definitely watch out. And I have clients that work with in the addiction industry, and that does fall into healthcare. Google's very, very strict about that. You need to show lots of certifications to even get an account approved to run ads like that, because Google's trying to protect the consumers, in that they don't want users to just be scammed by people that are trying to get their information, to resell their information to something else. So Google's really trying to protect their users. Okay, let's see. Already talked about that. So 90-day launch, I already told you what, how much time is really needed to perform. So, Kelly, you just launched your campaign. So hopefully be able to give it enough time to really see things through. This is what you should expect. And actually, I'm glad that you mentioned you just launched. But these are the things that you should be expecting as your campaigns going through this learning phase. Definitely expect some poor quality leads. Google is not going to be able to get it right from the beginning, and you're going to have to tweak it depending on what searches are coming through. Check your search terms report. We're going to be able to see what searches users are actually searching in Google to trigger these specific your ads. And if you're paying for clicks for, let's say, did you say you're a landscape marketer? And someone is looking for a dental marketer, and you don't want that type of business, then you definitely want to make sure that you're blocking, dental types of searches coming through. Or if it's just general marketing and they're not necessarily saying landscape marketing, then that's probably not a good fit, because that's going to probably attract a bunch of, people outside of your industry. So but still expect poor quality leads. That's going to happen. Don't be freaked out by it. It's completely normal to see undesirable leads during this phase as the campaign's in that learning period, and just adjust as you see fit depending on the data collection. You're going to be tempted to go in there and make changes every day if you don't see results coming through. And I like to tell clients that it's kind of like baking. You don't want to put the bread in the oven and then check it every 5 minutes and add ingredients. You have to be patient. With Google Ads, you have to let the data mature in order to really see things through. Julia, how do you keep your clients calm when they don't get results early on, and how do you usually take it? You really have to set the expectation even before you launch. You have to tell the client, hey, it's going to take 90 days. If they have an issue with that, they're going to run. And you probably don't even want that client to begin with. But some clients say they get it, but then after a week, they really don't. And then you have to go through the explaining, hey, we talked about this on the agreement that you signed. It's 90 days. You really need to give that time to see things through. even though some clients say they get it, a lot of clients don't. But you just have to remind them that as we're launching, Google needs to learn based off of the data that it's collecting. And I need to learn as a person that's instructing the machine how to perform and what to do based off of the data that's coming in, to how to adjust based off of that. So just think of it like you're steering a ship, and we need to go based off of how the weather conditions are and the different things that's, necessary to even get to our destination. Look at different things in order to help steer us in the right direction. So most of the time, clients will most of the good clients will be like, yeah, I get it, I understand. The bad clients are the ones where you explain that it takes 90 days, and then after a week they start freaking out. And at that point, they're either going to stick it through or they're not. And at that point, there's really not much that you can do to really, help them. If they're just not patient, then they're going to pull back. Let's see some other questions. Is the Google Keyword Planners the best tool for researching average industry CPC? I would say it's the best free tool. There are paid tools out there. Couple ones that come to mind are SEMrush and or SpyFu, but those are at least, $50 to $100 per month. So if you don't have that type of money to spend, the keyword planner does a pretty good job at being able to get the data. And the other thing too is, don't take it as like the gospel in terms of like, this is exactly what the cost per click is. Give it a range, look at the average across the board, and also make sure that you're setting the industry standard, the location correctly, because you might be setting it to the entire US when you're really meaning to set it to Orange County. And across the US, the clicks might look cheaper because it's taking the average across the US. But when we're really looking at just Orange County, the cost per click's much more. So make sure when you're doing it, you're looking at the right location. How many keywords per ad do you recommend? It really just depends on how many services you're going after. If we're talking about per ad group, I don't recommend more than 20 keywords per ad group, because then that starts to really convolute things. I would separate the ad group based off of the theme. So let's say that you are a personal injury attorney, but you want slip and fall cases, you want cases like motorcycle accidents, car accidents, truck accidents. You would want to have one ad group for every one of those, and you want to have one ad at least for every one of those. I recommend at least 2 ads to do A/B testing, but at the very minimum, just one. And then Berlin, your last question is, what changes do you make as you monitor the ads? I will get to that as I finish talking about the 90-day launch plan and what to expect. So spam calls, just expect there's going to be spam call, robocalling. It's an issue that's plaguing all industries. There's a lot of spoofers. They're very sophisticated enough to get through, but you're not charged for these spam leads. You might get calls after hours from these spoofers. It's going to happen. And then learning and adjusting based off of data, demand, user behavior, and other traffic sources. So really what it comes down to is time plus data plus patience leads to lead generation marketing success. So to answer your question, Berlin, on, what changes do you make as you monitor the ads? I like to collect data at least for a good 2-3 weeks before really making massive changes. But some things I like to look at include the search terms report. So seeing what users are typing into Google that's triggering my ads and making sure I'm not wasting on poor quality traffic. Other things I like to look at are the devices that my users are converting on. So if you're not seeing conversions within a 2-week period, that's probably something that you'd want to raise a red flag on. That shouldn't mean that you like actually want to give up, but it's something that you definitely want to investigate, especially if you're attracting the right quality traffic. So search terms report is number 1. Are you getting the right quality traffic? Number 2, other things that I would look at, your conversion rate. are you converting? Have you given it enough clicks to even convert? A good conversion rate is about a 10%. So that's 1 in every 10 clicks should convert. So assuming that your landing page is really good, assuming that your websites, by the way, actually don't convert as well, because there's a lot of noise on websites. There's a lot of, as you're looking at websites, there's a lot of different buttons to click. There's a lot of different links to different places to go to. So users' attention span is going to be really low, just in general. They go to a website, they see links to like your Facebook page, and then they're going to go to your Facebook page and then go to your Google My Business and then go to all these different places. So people are getting distracted. So the conversion rate is going to be lower. But if you're sending traffic to a high quality landing page, it should convert 1 out of every 10 clicks. If you're using the same type of formula that I shared with that dog trainer, you should be converting 1 out of every 10 clicks. The other things that I like to look at are there keywords here that we're getting clicks but are not converting? Are we getting clicks from outside of our geographic area? Are they all the right type of quality leads that are coming through? Because the issue is, when we're looking at Google Ads up front, is we can focus on what we can with the pre-click, everything with writing the ads, having the right quality keywords and getting the right quality traffic. But then the other issue is the post-click, sending traffic to a landing page. If your landing page or website is not set up to convert, you're just going to lose all the quality traffic that you paid for, and it's going to all go down the drain. So you need the pre-click and the post-click to the pre-click and post-click ability to convert, set up properly before you even, launch your campaign, or else you're just going to be draining budget really, really, really fast. So that's really important. And then that's pretty much it for this presentation. I do have a YouTube channel. I did mention Pauline helps me with creating the amazing thumbnails for it and keeping my channel up to date. But, if anyone here wants to dive deeper into Google Ads, and, someone here had questions about running ads for a medical practice, I do have some videos on medical. So definitely check that out. And lots of other videos on, different industries. So just depending on what industry you're looking for, you can use a search bar to go search. Would love if, people here could subscribe to the channel and support me as I'm growing this channel and trying to spread the word of, Google Ads and share as much knowledge as I can. But, with this 1 hour that I have, I couldn't go super deep, but definitely wanted to share from a high level just how Google Ads worked or works, and also just, how it can benefit you. So with that being said, we've got only 4 minutes, and I'm surprised that I actually took almost an hour to go through just about 12 slides here, but lots of questions in between. So are there any questions that anyone has about pay-per-click marketing, Google Ads, content marketing when it comes to building a YouTube channel? I'm happy to talk about that. Also about starting an agency. I'm also happy to share as well, so feel free to drop in the comments. Yep. Thank you, Pauline, for dropping the link. Okay.
That was super, super informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm definitely excited to check out your channel more.
Yeah, thank you. And Berlin, share with me a little bit about what type of clients you were running Google Ads for in the past.
I've done like local tour company that did tours of like Orange County, Temecula, LA, San Diego.
Nice.
Architecture. What else? I'm not sure. And Google, I've done a lot of like Meta TikTok ads as well.
Okay, great, great. Yeah, I've definitely worked in those industries. Definitely varies, based off of what they're trying to target, because a lot of small businesses think that they can get away with $1,000 a month budget these days. It's becoming more and more challenging, more and more challenging.
Yeah, the tour company, we focused our ads in Temecula, which obviously is super competitive. Our
Yeah,
budget between Temecula and LA was $900. And he ended up
that's tight.
ditching me to like outsource an AI stuff because I wasn't giving him results after 4 years of working together. I'm like, okay, what are you
Yeah.
doing? So yeah, you definitely need money for Google Ads, really.
And it's getting more expensive every year. It's getting more expensive every year. So a lot of small businesses, they're just kind of being priced out of it because they can't sustain. The problem with a lot of small businesses too is they don't have the resources and staff to be able to take the calls and leads. So they're paying for marketing, but they don't have someone that is good at closing. And that's definitely a huge challenge. And why a big struggle that I see. So that's why when I work with clients, I try to pre-vet and make sure that these clients are have these systems in place before we even start working together, or it's just a complete waste of time.
Yeah. Smart.
So,
Um,
can you, oh yeah, someone asked about the sign-in sheet.
yeah.
And
Oh, go ahead.
Did we want to take
also,
a picture too,
I
Berlin?
actually had one question for you guys. I have
Yeah.
the question. Where do you guys meet?
We meet virtually like this, but then when we meet in person, we've been switching up the locations. So we did a couple at SoCo in Costa Mesa, and then
Okay.
we just did one at Second and PCH, but we're open to going to
Okay,
others too if you have any ideas for us.
great. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. It was such a pleasure you being here. I'll pass it back to either Berlin or Julia to take it from here.
That was really great. Thank you so, so much. So in the chat, I'll drop it again, but if you haven't signed up, please do so here. We'll send all of Michelle's information and everybody's socials if you want to connect with each other, plus updates on our events, plus our members only anniversary party invite for a couple weeks coming up. The dates of my mind. So we'll send all of that out to you, and yeah, this was super helpful. The recording will be up on our YouTube, and we'll post it in our LinkedIn group if you want to go back. There's tons of info here, so we'll have that all for you. And yeah, Julie, anything else?
I was just gonna say, Michelle, I don't know how much you're on LinkedIn, but if you want us to add you to the group too, you can always feel free to pop in
I
there
would
with
love
the
to.
latest YouTube video or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm gonna join right now, actually.
Perfect. Perfect.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you our feedback rounds next week. And then we have our events every couple of weeks. So thank you. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Nice to see you all.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.